Hmm. The square root was 8 divided by 11. Sorry. What's up, guys? How are you? Everything cool? I have to itch my nose. You get to see me again today. Two shows. Hey, two shows for the price of one. We did an amazing show today. We had the autism show. It was fantastic. That was just like really great. The community really embraced it, and the players were like happy to talk about the autism and Asperger's and the spectrum and all that kind of stuff. So it was fantastic. We've got an amazing show on Saturday. Today is Thursday. So we have an amazing show on Saturday. It's going to be our kids show, kids only show. Well, besides me, because I got to run it, but I'm kind of like a big kid. So it's our kids only show. They're going to be talking about what's it like to be a paintball kid and grow up in that, the paintball environment and all that kind of stuff. And we got like these amazing amount of pop-up sponsors that want to give kids the toys and everything, gear, guns, everything. It's going to be fantastic. So my guest tonight is a prolific author. He saved the whales, because they were in his way. No, he is just a fantastic guy. We met, I think 2016 or 15. He'll have to tell you I think it was 16 at Tombstone, and he wasn't a big fan of mine. And then all of a sudden he met me and he was like, I guess you're not so bad. So anyway, enough of that. Let's see this. Hang on a second. Hey, look at that.
What's going on?
I'm wearing one of my look at this. Look at this shirt, huh? Look at that shirt. Look at that, huh? And then look, what's it say here? It says Titman over here, and it says GI here, and on the back, I think there's some promo. What's it say?
Titan signs and graphics.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So I guess you don't hate me too much. Anyway.
No, I love you, man. Originally, this is a funny story. I think we've told this story a few times. I met you at Decay of Nations. So I heard about you.
Okay.
But you were kind of like a unicorn. You've heard of the unicorn, but you've never seen the unicorn.
Right.
And so we're at Decay of Nations absorbing our MVP award. And you walked up to me and said, "Hey, you want an autograph?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Who are you?" And then you're like, I'm Reaper. And then I was like, "Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, here, have a popsicle. Get out of my face." And then I saw you again at Tombstone, and then we were best buds after that.
Yeah, he actually came to Tombstone with a bag full of stickers and the hat and everything like this. He just was like, here. I go, what's all this? He goes, this is part of my business. I have Titan Science and Graphic. Hey, Titan Science and Graphic is actually sponsoring tonight's show. You see that? Look at the scroll. Look at our.
You know what it was? I think we ran into each other at before that.
Really?
I think I saw you at Tanks, and I saw you at Living Legends probably, and so we just been running into each other. But then we really started talking after that.
Hang on a second. So this looks like the first one. No, this was Tombstone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That was Tombstone.
Now, if you can see by the camera angle, he's doing the selfie, not me. So there you go. All right, cool. That's it. Okay. So tell everybody who you are.
So my name is Phil Ramirez. We have a funny thing down here. I'm the Texas Brigade Commander, and I try to help promote brigade program stuff down here in Texas in my region. And so we just came up with that moniker a couple years ago. But beyond that, I own a sign company here in Houston, Texas, and I am part of the leadership of Cobra Paintball. And we travel all over the country and play paintball. We love it. We have a great time, and we like to get people involved.
Nice. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start from the beginning here. I wasn't able to find any baby pictures of you, but I found this one that was in the post office. What is this?
Oh, nice.
Post office. Nice. What happened here?
So that was probably, let's see, that was my nephew in that picture. So that was right after I got out of the service. That's where that's from. And so, and I don't have long hair right now. I just chopped it all off, but
Nice.
over the years, my hair grows fast like yours. So,
Nice.
I let it grow out. I chop it off. Let it grow out. Chop it off. So it's
Nice.
funny because my hair was just that long
Dude,
like 2 weeks ago.
that's great, man. That's yeah, and you've got some salt and pepper, but you're looking pretty young there. That's cool.
Yeah, that's this high speed, low drag that makes me feel younger.
High speed, low drag. Listen to you. All right. So let's start from the beginning. Where were you born?
Houston, Texas, born and raised.
Nice. Okay. So that is if you guys from the international, if you guys, when you were watching, people are watching all over the place. When we're talking Texas, Texas is like its own country, basically, right? You guys have like consider yourself like your own little thing. But along the Rio Grande is Mexico. And there's this, we call it this Tex-Mex kind of situation where it's like the food, the culture, the people, that kind of thing, right? So I'm guessing by the last name, you're not Swedish.
Matt, close. Very close.
Maybe.
My dad is actually 100% Mexican. He's born and raised in Mexico City and Saltillo and Monterrey. And he actually, his heritage is Spanish and French. So wow. His complexion is actually more like yours. I'm the darkest in my family.
Wow.
But he was born and raised, came over to the U.S. When he was about 21 and joined the Army. And he graduated from University of Houston with a degree in business and accounting. And so he's, an accountant. My mom is from here, Houston, she's from the Houston area, and she was raised all over Texas with her family. But part of my descent from them is I think we supposedly have some Apache Indian in us. But like down here, when people ask me, well, I went to OU, University of Oklahoma, and people used to ask me, what tribe are you in? And I would tell them, well, Incan, Mayan, Aztec, take your pick.
Right.
Because we did a DNA result, one of those. My sister did one of those DNA things. And I saw her over the holidays, and she said, "Guess what? Yep, we're still Hispanic."
Wow,
it's inconclusive, it just shows, your family's from the Mexico region or whatever. So it didn't really tell us anything that we didn't know.
Nice.
But so I'm 50-50, half whatever.
You're American. That's what America is, right?
That's right.
We're all mixed up. I don't think anybody. I don't know if you can trace anybody. I think there is people that can go back to the Mayflower or something like that. I think that there's people that, but I think there's like 5 of them left or something. So
probably we're all mixed up, So that's when people ask me, I tell them I'm Hispanic of, Latin descent, but I don't say, oh, I'm Mexican because I was born here. So
right.
and I'm half and half.
We're my family is some has I think part of it was like the Indians were Sioux, right? Because they were all attorneys. See, that's a Jewish joke. See, we were never mind. Anyway.
So interestingly enough, though, my first language was Spanish. I didn't know English. So that's one thing that throws people off. My Spanish is okay. I mean, I can read and write and speak it, but it's one of those things where if you don't practice, you forget. So I have a lot of Hispanic customers, and they come in and I speak with them. And my Spanish is better than their English. So they don't usually correct me when I mess words up. It's like anything else. If you don't know the word, you can't say the word. So
right. That's cool.
So it's funny when people have never heard me speak Spanish before. When they first hear it, they're like, "What?" Because I don't have a white accent, so to speak. I have a Texas accent, but
you do definitely.
When I speak Spanish, it's I guess it depends on how much I've had to drink, how it comes out.
That's funny. That's I can understand that. Okay, let's do this. We understand the background. And you said, did you start off in Houston? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So I'll give you a quick run up. My first 20 years, I should say.
Hang on a second. Stop before you get to the service.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Thank you. Okay.
That's exactly what I was going to do. So, because like you said earlier, I mean, my background is so diverse that got me to where I'm at today, how I interact with people.
Right.
So I went. Like I said, my first language was Spanish, and my sister. I have a sister that's 1 year older than me, and I have two younger brothers. And so my sister is a year, a month, and a day older, and my two brothers are like 2 years, 7 months apart from me, and then the next one from him. So we all went to a private Catholic school, and this was in the early. There you go. That's my two brothers. So this was in the 70s. And racism was real, but my dad was like, hey, I don't want y'all to have that problem that I had when I came over. So I'm going to send y'all to this private Catholic elementary school. So obviously there was no racism there, really. There was a little bit, but I didn't know any better. So from there, I really flourished. They kind of promoted you pushing yourself as far as you can ahead. So I went from there. I went to a public middle school that was advanced. They called it a Vanguard school. And then from there, I went to a magnet program high school that was an engineering profession school. And I excelled. And I actually was a National Hispanic Merit Scholar and had a full ride academic scholarship to any university I wanted.
What? That's
yeah. So people don't know that about me. A lot of people don't. I'm actually very smart, and I'm too smart for my own good a lot of times.
Not that you want to brag about it, but
yeah, I don't want to brag about it. That's why I don't say anything about it. Because people just don't, sometimes I get aggravated. But anyway, so I went to OU, and again, I was too smart for my own good, man. I went up there and I didn't know about all these programs. I could have jumped out of the first 2 years. Anyway, after a year, I was bored, came back home, and got into the restaurant business. And so I started working when I was 15. I worked at a grocery store, a big grocery store here, and worked really hard. I worked all through high school, 40 hours a week. I played 4 sports in high school. I lettered in all 4: baseball, soccer, swimming, and track. And so imagine this: I graduated number 14 out of 288 with a full-time job, 40 hours a week, and lettering in 4 sports. So when I hear people talk about they can't do it, right. I was a merit scholar. So my GPA was way up there, and I slept half my senior year. I didn't even have to go to school. So I entered my senior year. I was taking calculus 2, physics 2, chemistry 2. The only thing I needed was a half credit of English. So when I'm telling you I'm smart, I'm not kidding.
I know. I'm not. Listen, how smart are you if we went to Oklahoma? I don't get that.
That was like, I just wanted to get out of Houston. Like literally,
it's next door. Why didn't you go to like an Ivy League or something? I mean, Jesus.
Well, there's an interesting story about that. It's always the females. I chase way too many females. I actually was going to stay here and go to Rice University, and then at the last minute, I dished all that and took off. But I did get accepted into Brown, Cornell, Notre Dame, UT, a bunch of other schools. I mean, everybody wanted me. When you're a Hispanic Merit Scholar, I mean, they tell you, hey, you're like worth 10 smart white kids.
Dude,
you're a statistic, so they want you. They want you there. So it was again. I got to college and I had not. I should have tested out of some classes and I didn't. So it was like I was on rinse and repeat from high school. And after a year, I was like, I'm bored. I'm ready to go back home. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was that.
Dude, okay. So let me get this straight, right? Dad is from Mexico. He comes over when he was 21, joins the military. So he meets your mom. Yeah, in Houston. They settle down. They have you. They have like 18 kids. What'd you say?
4.
Okay.
That's close.
I'm bad with math.
Jewish math. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like 8 inches here. Like yeah.
Right. You're like, this is 6 inches, right?
You know what the rabbi said? He said he said when he was doing the circumcision, he told my mom, "Hey, don't worry, this won't be long." See, never mind. Anyway, so so then you obviously something. I mean, were you like did you drink the smart water before they made it? How did you? Or does everybody in the family end up as smart as you?
You know, I think my whole family is pretty snappy. My sister went to UT, and she's smart enough that she doesn't even have to work hard anymore. She moved to New Mexico, and I'm not kidding. She could retire right now.
Wow.
My two brothers, the brother right under me, he's super smart. He's an electrical engineer, and he's a traffic engineer, which sounds boring, but he works all over the country.
Right.
And then my youngest brother is actually in the ministry, and he is a musician, and he's a hired musician for any type of event you want. He plays the piano. He plays many instruments.
That's
He actually he's got his choir, and he's got he's been a music teacher for different schools, and we're all musically inclined. My mom plays the piano, and my dad sings at church, and that trickled down. We all play instruments.
Dude.
I don't play anymore. I play now. I DJ for fun.
What? Are you serious? No one told me that.
Yeah. Yes, I love DJing.
Nice, dude. You're killing it. Let me ask. Well, okay, so this is called Mexican Social Security. You know, when they have the Mexicans have a lot of family, and then when they get older, the parents get older, that the kids take care of them, right? So they lucked out. I mean, not only one kid is amazing, but that all the kids, dude,
right,
amazing. They hit the lottery with you guys. Congratulations on that. Nice.
Yeah, that's something that I've talked about before with my parents. I'm like, when you guys are tired of it, why don't we just sell our homes and let's move into a bigger home together, and I'll take care of you guys.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of what minorities do. I think it's a standard thing, a cultural thing.
I think that they appreciate. I think that I'm not saying Americans don't appreciate it. How about let me put it this way: I don't think Americans don't appreciate visiting their family in old people's homes, but most of the ethnics are actually not that way. They're like,
exactly.
Together. We're going to stay together. We're going to you know what I'm saying?
Yes, you're right.
Dude, I think that they have a lot to learn. I think a lot of people have a lot to learn for that. I mean, people make jokes about that when you go shopping at Home Depot and the lines are full, and all of a sudden one actually starts to move, and then all the other family members that were holding up those lines go to one line, and this like this. So they're all standing there waiting for which line's going to move, and it turned out to be just one big family. But I love, dude. I was born and raised in LA, and all of my girlfriends were Hispanic. It was
wow.
Yeah. So if I didn't move to Israel and marry a Jewish girl, I probably would have moved to Mexico. And so I love the culture. I love the big culture. You guys.
And funny enough, I dated a bunch of Hispanic girls, and I ended up marrying a white girl. So I think subliminally or subconsciously, I was like, man, I don't want to work that hard. I got to give me a white girl.
Seriously, my God.
Yeah, there you go. That was from Colorado back in December.
Nice. She's beautiful. What's her name?
Thank you. Her name is Rachel.
Rachel.
And she teaches high school, so she's also very smart.
Nice, dude. You're carrying it on. This is fantastic. I like it. Okay, so you could choose any university you want, but you decided to walk across the border to go to Oklahoma. Yes, exactly. And then you go to Oklahoma, you realize that this is I'm too smart for all this. Did you actually graduate college?
No, I went to OU for a year. I stayed there for the summer thinking I'm going to go, I'll just keep going. But then probably 4 to 6 weeks into the first semester of my second year, I said, what am I doing? Because I was on my own. You got to understand. I mean, I was on a scholarship, but my sister was at UT, and my parents were paying for her to be there. So there was no money for me. I worked 3 jobs, and I was like, what am I doing? I was, I was scraping by just to live. And so I was like, man, this is crazy. What am I doing? So I went, and again, like I said, I was retaking classes that I already took. And so I came back to Houston, and I enrolled in school here. I did another year, and same thing, that during that year, I was in the restaurant business, and I was managing a restaurant as a kitchen manager, and I was actually opening restaurants, and I opened up 3 different Hooters restaurants, and I opened up a couple other bars and grills, I was like 20 years old, and I'm like, I was still like, what am I doing?
Dude. So,
Yeah.
so when did the Anchors Away start playing in
So
your
it
head?
was actually, I was really, it was, I don't remember exactly what made me jump in. I wanted to be, I was really athletic, and I wanted to be a SEAL, like everybody's dreams. And I didn't know any better. And I went in and they looked at my ASVAB score. I scored like a 96 on my ASVAB, and they're like, again, one good Mexican for 10 good white dudes. So they're like, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a SEAL. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, look, I'm in shape. I'm ready to do this. So they made me take like a physical training test, and I killed it. And so they were like, all right, yeah, we're going to. 10 days later, I'm in boot camp. 10 days. That's like unheard of, man. I mean, it was a whirlwind, and even then I was in a special boot camp, and there was everybody in our company was either going to be a diver, an EOD, or a SEAL. And so we were training with, they actually had SEALs there in Orlando, and we're training with the SEALs, physical training, along with our regular boot camp. And so they were very strict on us. Well, and we did a lot of PT. We would do 2 hours of PT, go to breakfast, and then 2 more hours of PT with everybody else. And of course, we're hitting the pool and doing all this, that, and the other. But anyway, at the end of the time period, towards the end of boot camp, I got a hernia. And so I had to pull back, and I had 2 options. I could either stay there and just be training, be like you're just nothing, you're undesignated, and wait for another class to fit in, or I could go out to the fleet. And they said, you can go out to the fleet and do whatever you want. It's awesome. And just pick whatever job you want. And so that was a lie. And but I did that because there was another recruit there that the same thing happened to him. He got a hernia, and he had been stuck at boot camp for 9 months. And so he said, I talked to him, and he said, man, if I was going to do it all over, I think I would have just went out to the fleet, because this sucks. You're just kind of wasting time away. It's as they say, hurry up and wait. Yeah. And so I said, yeah, I'll do that. So I went off to the fleet, and again, you got no choice. It's it's the whims of the service, right? And they put me on this little bitty ship, the USS Halliburton, which is a frigate, fast frigate, missile. It's a submarine hunter is what they were at the time. Yeah. And so I get to the ship, and I'm not even kidding you. The first person that I meet, I come on board in the middle of the night. I come on board. We're in Yugoslavia, and they're like, you're going to meet the ship out at sea. And I came on board like at 2 a.m, and the officer of the deck, he's like, hey, I'm just going to put you in this rack, and in the morning you need to go see the yeoman, the personnelman. They'll get you squared away, but it looks like you're going to be in deck division, and I feel sorry for you. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, that's the first thing I hear. Even when I left boot camp, they were like, oh man, this sucks. And I was like, what? So you get there as undesignated, and they tell you what you're going to do. It's like prison. You're stuck on this little ship. Wow. They tell you when to get up, when you're going to eat, when you go to sleep, and what you're going to do. And the chain of command is a mother. It's tough. So anyway, regardless, as soon as I got on board, the personnelman and the yeoman that next morning, they're like, dude, you didn't get a schooling. And I said, yeah, they told me I can come get my hernia fixed and go back to SEAL training. And they're like, nah, you're going to be stuck here for 3 years. Yo, like, you better believe that. And I was just like, what? That's not what they told me. Yeah, they're like, yeah, of course. They can tell you whatever they want to tell you. So for all you boys and girls that think about going to the service, make sure you have a plan nailed down before you leave that MEPS station. But anyway, they figured out.
Wait, Phil, I thought they did that. Like, I thought maybe they do it today with the recruiting. When they recruit somebody, they guarantee them like a bonus. They guarantee them what they're going to be doing. Like, they don't. I mean, was it different back then?
No, it's always the same. It's the same now as it was then. They're not going to tell you any questions that you don't ask. So you don't know what to ask. And again, they looked at me and were like, hey, let's get you in there, because I had a high score, so they figured I'd do good. But I got hurt. So once I got to the ship, that's exactly what they told me on the ship. They're like, dude, you're too smart for the people you're going to be working with. You're going to hate it. And so, and they told me about search and rescue. They said, hey, you know what? You're a swimmer. We need a search and rescue swimmer. And so I was like, well, how do I do that? So I worked towards that. I got my hernia fixed and got myself back into optimum shape. And I went off to rescue school and I became a rescue swimmer.
Dude.
And so that was, and that I could have done forever. I just had a very tough chain of command, but I ended up being a rescue swimmer. I also was a master helmsman, which means I drove the ship in and out of port.
Wow.
And I was also the mailman.
Wow.
And I was postmaster general.
No.
And then we had a fast attack rib boat, and I was a helmsman for the fast attack boat. And I was a go-getter, and that's not typically what they like. You're too high speed, you make everybody else look bad. But I couldn't help it. And so I did my time there. The one great thing about that is I was able to train other rescue swimmers, and I was very highly recommended there on the East Coast, and they would put me out on other ships. So when our ship was in port, I'd go out to sea with other ships.
Dude.
And I didn't see my wife very much. That was the last year that I was in. I only saw her like 4 weeks out of the whole year. Yeah, I mean, look, I was leaving that. It was tough.
Oh,
so
dude. Wait, did you save her life? How'd you guys end up together? This is crazy.
No, she knew what awesome looked like. So
oh, look at this guy, overeducated and awesome. Listen, my God, man.
Yeah, she was actually, I met her at Hooters. She was the head waitress and I was the kitchen manager.
Ah.
So I married a bona fide Hooters waitress.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so then you guys get together, and then when did you start? This is another picture of you. Look at that hair, right?
Yeah, look at that hair.
Look at, were you Jesus in the play or something? What were you there?
No, that was about 5 years ago. I mean, like I said, they're like, my wife and kids would just be, hey, let it grow out. So I would just let it grow out,
Who's this?
Yeah, it's my 2 daughters. Yeah, look, long hair. I was we were in church. That was Christmas Mass.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I thought. I thought you were Jesus or something.
Yeah, well, I was there just in case.
You're big Jesus, but you got you decided to go with the family situation, right? And then
there we go. Yeah.
All right. So what do we got here?
That's my grandson right there that my youngest daughter is holding. So I'm a grandfather now.
Nice, dude. How old are you?
I turned 48 on April 8th.
Oh, you're showing me up, man. I'm almost 60 and I don't got any grandkids. Well, not that I want any right now, but Jesus Christ, look at you, man. This is fantastic. What a happy family, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's great. That's my niece and friend, and that's my nephew down. Yeah, so that's the blonde from the second to the left is my favorite niece, and then that's her son, her oldest son below her, and then that's just a family friend, the one that's not matching.
Nice, very cool. I like it. All right, so we you go in. They say now you're going to be the postmaster general and you're going to be parking boats. And by the way, you can also jump out of helicopters to see people, right?
That's right.
So you're in for what, 3 years?
Yeah, I got out early actually. So we were so I had a 4-year commitment, and my ship was changing home ports, and we come in off of a cruise. Like I said, the last year I only saw my wife like 4 or 5 weeks out of the whole year. And we came in off a deployment, and a 6-month deployment, and it was a strange time. So I was actually about to get released to go to aviation warfare school. So I was going to be a rescue swimmer out of a helo instead of a surface rescue swimmer. And so I wanted that school, but that was going to be another 5-year commitment. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get a good chain of command. So as we changed home ports, I had 1 year left, and that was an option that I could get out. And so I took that option, and the captain was very upset, but there was a whole thing behind that. I requested the school when we went out on the deployment 6 months prior, and the captain kind of buried the chit. He buried the request.
Oh.
And I found out as we were coming back to port 6 months later, and I threatened him and I said, man, this is not right. I'm gonna take you to captain's mast. And they were calling me the admiral because everybody knew that was dirty. You have to submit when you request something like that, they have to say yes or no. And they cannot say no if you qualify. And so yeah, I brought that to his attention, and as we were coming back, so at that point they were anxious to get me off the ship. They were like, "Let this guy go. Just let him go."
Nice.
You know? So cool. and I had about in my 3 years, in my 2 and something years of rescue swimmer, I actually got 100 and something saves because we had a cruise ship go down off the coast of Somalia that we helped out with, and we pulled over 100 people out that day. And then,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Dude.
So I'm a real hero, not these guys that come back from war talking about they shot people. I actually pull people out of the water.
You actually saved, wait a minute, were they pirates? Maybe you should have just let them go if they're Somalis.
No, they were mostly Italian. It was an Italian cruise. You can look it up, the Achille Lauro. Actually, on every year on the anniversary, several people send me personal messages that I pulled out of the water.
Dude, that's amazing.
So there's something that people don't know about me.
There's a lot of people don't, but now do. Oh, look, I got stuck. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful face? Look, I just got stuck. There we go. There's a lot of things that people don't know. Now they do know, and they will know. How's that?
That's great. That's great. Now, and I'll tell you with that training that I did, and when I was in port, I would train other rescue swimmers to go to school. Like before they go to swimmer school, I would train them in Charleston, South Carolina, and I trained 99 swimmers over my time, and every single one passed.
Really?
So that was a good accomplishment. And then when I here in my later years in life, I actually had my own swim team. I put together a swim team for my neighborhood. Nice. And I did that for 10 years. And we just shut it down a couple years ago. Now that I have a grandson, we're talking about starting another one. And actually, one thing that I'm working on right now is I want to start doing a adult swim class. I have a lot of adults that wanted me to teach them how to swim when I was back when I had the swim team, but they were kind of embarrassed about doing that in front of their children, and they're adults, So just recently we've had a lot of interest in that, and I have a young man that works for me, and I actually taught him how to swim when he was like 6 or 7 years old, and he went on to he was on my team, and he went on to get a few records in our district, in the school district. So I'm very proud of him, and he's a senior this year, so he's finishing his swim career. And we're thinking about starting this to let him continue it during his summer seasons. But nonetheless, after we come out of all this corona, there's people want to do stuff. And I think swim lessons will be a great thing to do for people's health. And obviously,
you just like to keep busy. That's what it is. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, to some extent. Yeah, I like to be busy. If I'm not busy, it doesn't work for me if I'm not busy.
I like it. So you were a overeducated postman. You were you jumped out of helicopters. You rescued 1,000 people from a cruise ship. Gentlemen, look at this. Unbelievable. All right, cool. So let's jump to here. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you sitting down? Ready? You don't know what you have no idea what I'm bringing up, right?
I have a feeling, but
this I know you told me what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but I wanted to show this picture. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
If you go look at my Facebook profile pics, go look at some of the Navy pics, and you'll see some funny stuff.
Crazy things. Ready?
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
So no, that isn't photoshopped his face into a helmet. That's really him. And dude, this is flat track. What do you call this?
No, that's actually closed course racing, road racing.
Okay.
I raced in the CMRA for about 5, 6, 7 years. In 1996, after the military, I opened a custom motorcycle shop, and we built a lot of race bikes. We customized a lot of bikes. We built a lot of race bikes, and that was something I did. I started first doing street racing, obviously, where everybody street races, and then I wanted something more. I mean, we used to run away from the cops. It was
Nice.
so that gets old because you can. I had 2 little kids, and I'm like, man, I could get hurt out here. So I started drag racing at the track. And drag race, I think I did that for 1 or 2 years. We'd shut down the shop, and all my guys would all go out on Wednesday nights and drag race. And at the track, they did a trophy night at the track.
Okay.
And so yeah, we have an NHRA track not too far from here in Houston. So it was a great track. And then I started road racing. People said, "Hey, road racing is where it's at." So that picture that you're showing there is actually one of my first races, and I'm wearing a yellow shirt because that's a amateur class.
Okay.
And so that so that was just one of my first races. And then after successfully, there we go. That's another one. Now, I don't know why those are the only pictures I have, but back then we didn't have really, a whole lot of digital photography. That was in the 90s.
Dude, how fast are you going?
Right there, probably 100, 110. You at that racetrack, you hit turn 1, you come off the bank off the front straight at 170 miles per hour on that bike, and I'd hit turn 1 at about 110, and I wasn't even that fast. I mean, there was people zipping around me.
Wow.
But
Dude.
yeah, so a lot of fun.
Now, was that cyclone racing, or was
That was the SMD Cycles racing. So that was my first business was SMD Cycles.
All right.
And quickly after that, within my first year, I bought equipment to make the decals, and that's how I started the Sign Pimp. And we switched to SMD Graphics at some point, and then about 12 years ago, we switched to Titan Signs.
Oh, dude. Okay, I got it. So hang on a second. Let me jump over here. Let me do this. So it sounds like you're kind of an adrenaline junkie, I guess.
I never called it that.
I do. I call it that. I love that. I mean, I do a stand-up. I still do stand-up comedy, and for some people, that's like death to be able to stand up in front of people. But it's just this adrenaline rush that's just fantastic. But so you went from, we're not going to talk about the sign company yet. So basically, you went from all of that riding the bikes, which is very expensive, the tires, the engine, everything like that. It's like expensive stuff.
Super expensive.
So then, how did you end up at a less adrenaline type of thing?
That the motorcycle thing actually segued into paintball. So in the late 90s, I had all these friends. We were super competitive, and one of them was like, "Let's go play some paintball." And I was like, "Hey, I've never played. Let's go." So we started going to the field and just playing as much as we could, one-upping each other. And this is back when autocockers were the reigning thing. And after about 2 or 3 years, all my friends quit playing. So I was like just by myself. And I stumbled onto a Viper event actually one time. And it was one of his very first scenario events at TXR. And I was like, "What's going on?" And so I played for like a few hours, and then I left because I didn't understand it. I was like, "What the heck?" Missions and the scenario was like a Star Trek scenario, and I was like, "Why are all these people dressed up?" Yeah, I didn't know all these LARPing. I didn't know what was going on, but so I quit playing, and then I came back and played a little bit of tournament ball with my nephews, and that was like in 04, 05, and then fast forward to 07, one of my old motorcycle buddies is like, "Hey man, weren't you into paintball back in the day? I got this scenario that I'm going to go to. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Well, okay." He's like, "Yeah, I'm playing on this team." And I'm like, what's the name of that team?" Like, it's Cobra. And I'm like, "Cobra? Okay, that sounds cool." And so the founder of the team is actually an Army Ranger.
Wow.
And so the first event that we went to was at Tactical Paintball in Harwood, Texas. And we got the MVP, the MBT, and the MoFo all that first game. Wow. And I was just so impressed. I'm like, "Man, how do I join?" So I had to prospect with the team for a few months, and then obviously I made it, and that's it. The rest is history. So that was 2007. The team formed in April, and I think I joined them in like August.
Dude, that's amazing. What
Yeah.
a story. What's this?
Yeah.
There we go. So what are you holding there? Do you remember what I gave you?
Yeah, you gave me it's a paperweight. Actually, it sits up on my desk upstairs, and
it's the piece of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. That was my way of thanking you for this amazing shirt.
Yeah,
and
it's very
hat.
cool. So I keep that up on my desk.
Nice. And then I was wearing this hat all over the place until somebody wanted it really badly, so I had to give it to them. But yeah, that was my favorite hat for a long time.
I gotta get your address again, man. I got 2 of them sitting here.
Oh, are you serious? There's a lot of people all over the world that want them, and I'm like, all right. So we're gonna start buying them again. I'll start carrying them with me and give them out. Okay, cool. So let me hit this, and then when did you start getting involved in like this stuff? Like, when did you start becoming a commander and a general, that kind of thing?
So, real quickly, when I started playing with the Cobra group, there was a lot of veterans on the team, and we broke the team up. The way we had it was like a battalion, more or less, I guess. We had the team, and then we had like Alpha Company, Bravo Company, Charlie Company. So when we went to events, this is way back 07, 08. We were big time milsim, and we were all kitted out, and we used VHF radios. Nobody else was using radios at that time like that. We were using VHF radios that we bought from fire department, and they were Motorola's, and they were awesome. And so I was in charge of like Bravo Company or Charlie Company. So I had my little group of guys, and and then we would just do basic military tactics, and our communication was always key. People always, that if anything people could take away from paintball, and there's a lot of people that hate using radios. Oh, I can't keep up with that, and then they wonder how we're so effective. It's communication, and it's not because obviously I'm 48. It's not because I can outrun everybody. And you see how big I am, but whales do move fast. 32 knots.
Right.
But it's not that. You can't beat that radio, and you can't beat just basic military tactics and everybody knowing that everybody's on the same page. So that's how that kind of started. I was always a great field commander.
Nice.
And so I never wanted to be in the box. I was like, I like being on the field, and it's a great feeling, And so when you crush them, you take that kill house. Nobody can get the kill house, and then you step up and you take that kill house. Dude. And so that's what we got known for. We attended Living Legends 4, 5, and 6.
Wow.
And that's where we were trying to make our name. And we were already traveling. We'd been to D-Day and skirmish in Pennsylvania, and we went to Tennessee, Bear Creek, and all over Texas. But we were like, Tippmann sponsored us, I think, in 09, and we were official Tippmann sponsored team. And so we were really trying to show, that, hey, we can be at that next level. So we started going to Living Legends, and we worked our way up to Legend 6. Our founder was supposed to command, and against Wolf. And we had already known Wolf. We flew him down to Tactical to play with us. And so Wolf said, I don't want to play against you guys. I want to play with you. And so that year, if you remember that far back, he had hurt his leg over at Paintball Explosion. They had just put the Nuketown together, and he hurt his knee jumping out of the second story, being Wolf.
Wow, right.
And so we ended up being his XO. And Wolf, he couldn't play. I mean, he was riding around in the golf cart everywhere. And so we really ran the whole thing. But, XOs do all the work and get no glory. Right. And so by that time we knew DJ, and we started meeting a lot of other teams from around the country. And so it was great, But even at that event, again, we took turns running missions and doing field commanding, and all that was awesome, But we just stayed away from there till they asked us to come back for 11, and said we all come back, and we were like, well, I think we'd come back if we were in a command position, not just to come play. And so Sebastian was the XO, and I was one that they actually recruited me into being a field commander. I was not going to be a field commander. I just was there to do my thing and just be who I am. But at 1 hour into the game, one of the Legion commanders came over and said, "Man, you're doing a better job than me. Here, you wear this." And so we went from there. It was so I was a Legion commander, and then last year I went back to do Legion command again, and Sebastian was the general. And both years I did all the comms for our whole side. So I kept us very tight. And then this year they asked us to go back, but we said, hey, let's give somebody else a chance. I XO'd at Hawaiian Legends, and that was a good time. We had a really good time. We won that event. Last year I XO'd at Marvel versus DC with Zach Arbuckle. We crushed them. We beat Mad Frog up. That was fun. And then some local games, so I don't mind commanding. I'll do the job. I'd rather be on the field as a field commander. Me and you played together several times now.
Yeah,
and I guess we do well.
We just run at them.
Yeah.
We both had worse things in our life to be
right.
Well, so we're like, I don't care, like this.
Yeah. So I think that's where I shine even more, on the field.
Let's look at some comments here from our viewers. There we go. Desi Johnson. Ahoy. Let me see. Lee Williams. We got Leon. He's South Africa. Who else do we got? Oh, this guy. I think he owns a motel or something. NJ. He said, you're on a video tour. It looks like you're actually like all over the place. You're like, well, you have another one after me, right? You're like.
I know. I just did one because I'm commanding the Cobra versus Joe's game coming up.
Nice. Who do we have? Who's this woman?
Kathleen Alvarez. Yes. Okay. We just talked to her the other day.
She's amazing. Yeah. This guy, right?
Yeah. Not me, Raleigh.
And how about this one?
Yeah. Nice. Joe Perez out of the East Coast.
How about this one?
My boy Paul. Yep.
Nice. I know this guy.
Dave Patton. Yep. I know him.
Michael Fisher.
Raw Dogs.
How about that?
Rosemary Tania. Oh yes.
Okay, cool. What do we got here? Hey, I know this guy.
Yeah, let's get it.
you're like commenting on your own show. That's fantastic. Right. There you go. All right, and then we got
my buddy Eric Gabriel.
You know who that is, right?
Yep, Psycho Clown Posse.
Right? All right, cool. And nice. Okay, cool. So, excuse me. So let's do this. Let's go here. Okay, let me ask you a question here. Let me see here. None of this is scripted, I just talk off, from my heart kind of thing. And you're pretty, let me see, how do I say it? You're pretty unfiltered. You're pretty like, you let people know where they stand. So let's do this one. I asked you about being a commander. I asked you about being a general, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a controversy going around that I'm on one side of the fence. And that side of the fence is I don't think that celebrities should be generals. I think that XO generals, that kind of stuff, these people have earned their position, right? They've played hard, maybe years. They were finally anointed, maybe a generalship. Maybe this general really knows the field. They're just you know what I'm saying? It's it's basically it's basically like they've earned that spot. And then all of a sudden, whoever promoters or field owners, they bring in a celebrity to become the general, and you're basically putting that guy in the front of the line, and you're saying, "Here, now you're this thing." And I'm not. I was a general 2014, 15, and then I said, "I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to shoot people." So I've been a big proponent of, because I stepped on someone's toes when they made me a general, and I gave him I just said, "Hey, I don't want to do this. You're the general." They just brought me in for, Titman thing. So after that point on, I was like, there's celebrities or whatever you want to call them. They're good for promotion, right? That's what they're there to sell tickets. They're there to promote. We should be promoting maybe 3 months before, during the game, after the game. There should be just bam, 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 right? The generals have a lot on their plate. And if it's a good general and they know the field and they've actually have a following where people want to follow them kind of thing, and they know they can crush it. If you're going to ask a celebrity to do something like that, we don't know how many followers they could have bought those followers. You know what I'm saying? You can buy subscriptions or subscribes and that kind of thing. I don't know. I think that the players want someone that they believe in, they can trust. They feel that, if they have like a winning pedigree, that kind of thing. Now, that's my soapbox. Am I wrong or right, or what's your feelings?
Man, you are opening Pandora's box.
That's okay. That's okay, because I'm saying it from my heart.
So that's good. So like you said, somebody talked to you about this, because I do have a very strong opinion on generaling. And I've talked to a few promoters and a few field owners and different people, and people like to pass the buck in this industry. Oh, talk to him. I'm not in charge of that. That's up to them. Like you're saying, the generals, they want to pick generals that are going to bring attendees.
Okay.
So it's all business at the end of the day. Unfortunately, it's really about how many people are going to come to that game.
Okay.
And so I get it. I'm a business. They're a business. I get it. And that's why I don't even push that hard into the paintball community, because I don't want to turn into a vendor. I think I've told you that before. Like,
yeah.
I'm really careful, because I don't want to turn into, they're like, oh man, bring a tent, pop it up, sell your stuff. And I'm like, now I'm not playing. Now I'm a vendor. Do you want me on the field as a field general, or do you want me in this booth selling t-shirts? Because I can do it. I'll do it. For those that don't know, I am the official vendor for the t-shirts and hats for CPX events now.
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
So I've been doing that for a while, but I don't show up and set up a booth. I just, do what I need to do, provide for the events, and that's that.
Right.
But one of the things that I feel that they should start doing, the whole community as a whole, is paying the generals. You have events, I'm just throwing raw numbers out here. Like if you got these two generals and they bring 500 people to that event, that's a lot of money.
Right.
And the generals, to bring those 500 people, they put in a lot of time to get those 500 people. They spent hours texting, calling, messaging, and that you're not going to get back. And then when you get to the field, you spend hours for preparation before that. And depending on who you are or what you do, like us, we bring a lot when we come out. We bring a lot, and you're working, and so the refs get paid.
Yeah.
And they're out there just as long as the general.
Right.
Why is the general getting paid?
Right.
They give you we're going to give you registration in a box of paint. Oh, we're going to give you 2 boxes of paint. But you don't get to shoot it because you're in the box. If you're a good general, you can command out of that box. You don't need to be on the front lines. That's why you have people like me. I'm on the front line, and the general's in the box on the radio telling me what needs to get done.
Right.
That's how we crushed it at Legends last year. It was so lopsided, it was ridiculous. But again, there is people that compensate. Like at Super Game, they get a whole gear bag full of gear.
Okay.
$2,000 worth of gear. That's awesome. At CPX events, if you command, you now get free entry and paint for life at any CPX event.
Are you serious? That's great. Okay.
That's it. That's the only ones that I know of. Everybody else, they're like, hey, pimp, come, we want to bring you in and have you command, and thanks for spending your gas money. Thanks for spending your money on a hotel. Thanks for taking away from your business to help my business.
Right.
And I walked, so I spend money to go play. I mean, I don't have to tell you, it's a lot of money to travel. People are like, wow, man, how do y'all do it? And because we love the game. Right. But there comes a point where it's like, man, you guys really should start thinking about, paying the generals.
Okay, so hang on a second. Since you're doing a lot of dancing, I was going to change the song. Hang on a second. Okay.
Let me change my hat.
You're dancing. Yeah, you're dancing around my question here. So my question is, do you feel that that there is a separation between, we're going to call us people of publicity, and the salt of the earth guys who they just want to play. They don't want, the real big limelight kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? They're just kind of, they grew up in the sport. They love it. They don't consider themselves celebrities. They just want to be, and they've gone to these events and they've lived that event and they've grown into the event. And then somebody anointed them like, we're going to make you an XO, then we're going to make you a general. And this is their Super Bowl, right? This is their Super Bowl that they're going to. And then again, all of a sudden somebody comes along and says, oh, we're going to put so-and-so in. And maybe the crowd doesn't like so-and-so, or maybe, maybe so-and-so is, anybody. Listen, I could do that. I can stand and yell at people if I want. I could, hey, you go there and you go there and you go. That's a general? That's not a, that's like, a general is leading his troops. He's doing strategy. He's working out. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
It's a very complicated, and it's actually a very, what's it called? It's a very, it's an honored position to be in, and it's not to be taken lightly.
For sure.
So yes, I understand what you're saying, that on the what's it called? On the business part of it, maybe the fields are trying to do like maybe grabbing the flavor of the month and saying maybe these people will bring in, more people kind of thing, and that kind of thing. But are you actually talking to the players and asking what they want? Because the players are the ones that are basically paying to come to this game. And the players are the ones that are saying, listen, you're giving us sides. I'll take this side or that side, right? And you're basically, if you look what's happening, if one side is stacked because they don't like who maybe is commanding the other side, or, those are pretty big signs. And right. You've seen all my shows. All my shows are about the community, right? I don't talk about the COVID. We all know we play paintball, so I don't need to talk about, 68 caliber, whatever. My concern is the community, and these are the things that I hear from the community. And I'm going to have a show with the park owners, and I'm going to be asking them the same question. We're going to try to do a really like a roundtable kind of thing, because I hear from a lot of people saying, they have a certain amount of cash for the year to play, and when they go play, they want to feel like they're completely involved in what's going on. It's not a showtime for them. It's not like, hey, who's that clown? Yeah, that's why I take it serious when I go to these events kind of thing. And I want to be amongst the people and play and everything like that, because I don't want to be considered a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we hired that clown to come in and honk, honk like this. Not like the clowns from LA. I'm just talking about. And so I take my job very serious. And I'm very respectful for the people who are in like in these command positions and stuff. Because the people follow you because they love you. They're not following you because you have like, maybe your own show or whatever, this kind of thing. They're following you because you embody the sport. You know what I'm saying? This is why people follow other generals.
That's a great point. That's very valid. People want to get behind a strong leader.
Right.
And so it's a strong general. If it's a strong general, they're going to be very organized. They're going to get everyone involved. If you want to be involved, you'll get involved. Because I talked to all kinds of people, and I have heard players come to me and say, how do I get in on the mission? How do I get a mission? And
right.
Well, for one thing, people sometimes don't realize is that you do have to step up. You do have to go, hey, I want a mission. If they don't know you and if you don't say you want a mission, how are they going to know? But most of the time, the events that I'm at, even the generals that we play for, that's what we do. We step up and say, hey, I want to do something. And right. Given the mission, I turn around and go, hey, I got a mission. Who wants to go with me?
Right.
And people jump in, and so and then I'm going to show them a good time. And we're gonna go do something, and I'm gonna lead them the best way that I can. I think yourself is go to these games and you take on a lot of people. Kind of, I think, misunderstand your position and what you're doing. So what I see personally is that you go and you like to get a lot of the kids and make sure they have a good time, and you show them how to play. And you're showing them what they're supposed to be doing. And sometimes there isn't enough of that, because us guys, we get, the adrenaline part comes in, and we're right. just focused on playing. And you right. come off, you have a crazy firefight, and you come off the field, and you go back and you're talking to your boys, and and you just see these other people just standing around going, what happened? What happened?
Right.
So it's your job to get everybody involved, to make everybody have an epic story. And
Right.
That's one thing. I mean, I love playing with you. I love playing with Wolf. There's a video he put out from the last Legends that we were at, and it's crazy because we were told by our general to go take this part of the field. And so unbeknownst to me, Wolf was to my right flank. I'm pushing up, and I start pushing up the left side, and he starts pushing up the right side. And we didn't come up with that plan together. That's just how it played out because we knew what we had to do. And it's awesome because he showed the video 6 months later, and he pans over, and you can see me and hear me yelling, pushing that left side up, and he's pushing the right, and we just take this field. And it was a great moment, and everybody came off and was super excited about it. And those are the moments that we want to share. So the East Lebs, I think that's where they should be more, instead of a general, a field commander, helping out with the troops.
Right. I'm a big proponent of bringing us in as a marketing part. You know what I'm saying? Where again, here's how I say it. When I got involved in this 2014, when basically Brad Pitt came to my house and said, "Now you're a celebrity." So I'm just joking. But anyway, when kind of 2014 is when my thing started happening, the bar was kind of low as far as like celebrities were concerned. You could just show up. They put you on the poster, just show up. And then people were like, he's here. And then the person would go off to the hotel and do, Tinder or whatever the fuck they're doing, like that kind of thing. When I started getting involved in this, I started saying, well, this is kind of more of like a marketing situation. Like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to promote that I'm here. I'm going to like do everything I can to give back to that. Whoever invited me to come to this event, I'm going to give back 110%. So that's why I started doing these like pistol challenges, or I started like, having the kids shoot me when I'm in like in the what's it called area, the testing your gun area, the chrono area, that kind of stuff. And that's what I felt. I felt that like I'm going to hang out with the park owners. I'm going to ask them, what do they need? What can we do? When the game was over, you go and you hang out with the players in the, in the tents and stuff like that. That's the whole package that the players pay for. They play for the whole experience, right? They're paying for, and so if somebody's going to bring you in as a celebrity or whatever that is, you are now part of this experience. From the minute you land on the plane, from the minute you take off, you're part of the package. And I kept on pushing this bar higher by saying, this is what needs to be done. We need to have, a separation. You can't just like give me the keys and say, you're the general now. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. It's like, give it to someone who knows what to do, right? I'll be there to help you. I'll be there to promote. Let me just run at people with my two pistols. That's what I do best, right? That's all I know how to do. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that I really believe in a separation of church and state. That's what I'm trying to say. I just really believe that. And some people don't. And I think maybe in paintball, we go through cycles. You know what I'm saying? People come, these cycles happen, and maybe they'll come back, and the cycle will be, we need solid generals. We need solid, like the guys who grew up in it. They appreciate it. They love this thing, and they don't want the limelight. All they want to do is they want the pennants. They want the cups. They want to win this thing.
Right.
That's how I grew up in this sport in 2008. I grew up with that kind of feeling, that it's a family thing, that there's this cohesive, this amazing community, and that we've got generals who run these things. That's how I did it. Now it's kind of a funky thing. It's kind of changed, but
the other thing too, I think a lot of people, they want to be a general, but they don't know how. So let me give a little advice on that. And we need more generals. That's the part of the problem right there. Is to be a general, you got to have a playbook. And what I mean by that is you need to be organized. And somebody just goes, hey, I want to be a general. And they come out and they're not ready at all, and they get trampled. And then they're like, man, I'm never doing, if you're not prepared and you come up against us, you're going to learn a lesson. And that's why we are, not to pat myself on the back or Seabass, but we don't fly halfway across the country to lose. I don't spend thousands of dollars to lose. Believe that. We come to win. We come to take home awards. So some people say, oh, that's dumb. I'm just here to play. I'm just here to have a good time. Well, so are we. Having a good time for us is winning. So not to be, that straightforward about it, but if you want to be a good general, then you need to step up and go, hey, let me be an XO for that general.
Yeah, exactly.
Learn how to be a general.
Learn how to be a general. Exactly.
And so there's plenty of room for everybody. One of the things that Sebastian did for Tombstone, we're trying to get Tombstone is in October at Avid Sports.
Right.
And Mad Frog is coming down to command against Seabass. So it's going to be kind of a rematch from Living Legends, So we want a lot of people to come down from the north. It's all fun talking smack and whatnot. And his XO is going to be Joe Perez from 13th Legionnaires. Joe Perez is hard hitting. Mad Frog is hard hitting. They know what they're doing.
Right.
So they expect nothing less from us. So we're going to have Sebastian as general. And then what he did was said, hey, you know what? Let me train somebody. I'm not going to pick a general. Who wants to learn how to general?
Wow.
And so he put that out there, and he had a few people that stepped up, and we're getting one of the guys from Raw Dogs. And Michael Fisher is the guy behind Raw Dogs, but it's not going to be him. It's because he commanded last year, but it's going to be one of his guys stepping into the box and learning how to be a general and learning the Cobra way. Because that's everywhere we've gone, everywhere I XO for or whatever, we're always teaching each other stuff, and there's definitely a way that we do things. And so we're super excited about that. We're hoping that a whole lot of people come down from the north. I hope that you're able to make Tombstone. I'm hoping Gabriel and the whole clown posse comes out. We love those guys. That's one of the great things too. You make alliances with people all over the country. But this new guy is going to learn how to be an XO at a great event.
Right.
It's been getting bigger and bigger. When me and you were there together the first time, there was about 300 and something. Then it grew to 400 and something. I think it was about 500 last year. We're trying to get that thing up to 700.
That's amazing.
If you don't know, this is a Viper paintball event.
Right.
Viper has been doing this a long time. His product is solid. It is if you guys have never played a Viper event, you should come out and play. It starts on time. The missions are everything runs on a very tight schedule.
It's on a clock. Yes, I know.
It's on a clock.
Yeah.
And so it's good to see that. Even if you're a promoter or field owner, you should come out and play the game and see how his product is and go, man, I want to be like this. It doesn't have to be the same theme, because obviously some of the times the themes are just, unicorn farts and corralling hogs and all that is sometimes a little crazy, but just focus on the game. But that's the best way to learn how to be an effective general and a good leader, so that people will follow you. And that's just how it goes. I mean, there are people that come to events because you're going to be there.
Right.
There are people that come to events because Cobra's going to be there. We're commanding. People go, ooh, I want to come and be part of this epicness. Because we, in the last, I think, 4 years, we've only lost 4 games. That's it.
Wow, that's amazing.
I don't know anybody else who can boast that.
Well, here's the thing, though. Also, let's say that if you've ever played a walk-on game and then you decided to maybe take control. I'm stuck again. You decided to take control of the situation, and you say, okay, you walk on players go there. You walk on players. As soon as they blow the whistle, it's like cats. They're like, right? Okay. When you're playing a big game and you bring in maybe a general who, again, people don't know, they don't whatever. It's like they're all like whatever. But when you're playing a big game where the general, they know the general, and he's got basically a built-in following. And they're like, what do we do, sir? What do we do? Let us. And so there's no cats running, right? They're just organized animals going whoosh, like this kind of thing. And so you can't just, again, have a guy stand there and just bark orders and stuff, because paintballers by nature are individuals. We I'm not a team player, but basically we're out there on our own a lot of times. And so in doing so, are you going to someone's going to bark orders and you're like, who the fuck are you? Like, what, they paid you to come out? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want. So, but you're not going to get that when the Cobra guys come out, when let's say when Jason Mann comes out, or let's say when Mad Frog comes out, or Joe Perez comes out, right. They've got their built-in people who are like, serious about that. And that's what I'm telling the field owners. Look at that. Look at who the people want. You know what I'm saying? Look who they talk to people.
And that falls back to what I was saying about if you pay the generals and put them on a sliding scale. Let's say, okay, you get 400 people to this event. We're going to give $200 to each general.
Dude,
that's nothing. $200, and then maybe that general is going to work that much harder for the field to bring more people.
Dude, I hope people are listening to my show because it looks like only my grandma and you are watching. So I'm just joking. No,
that's one of the things. I'm like, I don't know why they can't put that together. Like, you want us to come out there and bring these, and
maybe they will.
These people give us an incentive, not some free paint.
Phil, maybe instead of it just being in the vapor, maybe all of a sudden now you're consolidating it and saying, this is what, and maybe someone's going to run with that ball. And then maybe it takes enough guys to run with the ball and enough fields going, listen, our attendance is increasing because we've got the right, you know what I'm saying? We've got the right math going on.
That's right.
So I like it. All right. So sorry to send you off on a tangent, but that's something that's very close to my heart. So
it's a great segue because I've been talking about this to everyone, and listen, I get very mixed reviews. I mean, the field owners and promoters are like, "What? I pay people?" And of course, all the people that have worked so hard to be generals are like, "Man, that would make sense." Wow, I'd be a heck of a lot more interested to recruit and spend my time to make a little scratch as opposed to working your ass off for the field.
Right, I agree. And do you know who else agrees with me?
Who?
Mr. Nasty. Mr. Nasty. Hey, Mr.
Yeah.
Nasty.
What's up?
He's always got to pop in now and then. Okay.
Right.
So,
you know what we didn't touch on? The brigade program.
Dude, you just read my mind. Wait a minute. You knucklehead, hang on a second. You just read my mind. Let me just do this. And wait, let me do this. Let me do this. I've got a surprise for you. Hold on a second.
Here we go.
Wait, where did it go here? This is it. Let me go to this one here. Right here, and there we go. Okay, cool. All right, hold on one second. Let me just pop this in here and just say that. And let me pop my new background in, and there we go. How's that?
I don't see. Oh, there you go. Okay. I'm actually looking for. Hang on. I got a bunch of patches here under my desk, so I'm gonna pick them up.
Rig. Mine says rig. It says it's supposed to be brigade. All right.
Yeah, there's a custom patch.
That's you guys.
Nice. That's a shout out to my buddy that's on there. I see him, but let's see here.
Gabriel and I go back 2008 when I started my WTL. He was the first guy to bring in a big team, and I remember it was like I think it was one of those what was it in SC Village. It was a really hot day, and I said, "Hey, I got to do that." And he looked at me for a second. He goes, "Okay, I'm in." And he legitimized my my WTL, my Woods Ball Tournament League. So I had only for him.
So here we are. This is a brigade member patch.
Nice.
These are a couple patches from past events.
Nice.
A Head patch and Santa and Grinch in the Hood, and nice. So that's an example. The brigade program is funded and was started by GI Sports, and they had their core conference a few years ago and said, "Hey, what can we do to help grow the sport?" And people were saying, "Hey, why don't we bring back patches?" Because I remember years and years ago, I'd go to an event and they'd give you a patch for being at the event. And I asked a couple of promoters about it, and they said, "Oh, it's just too expensive," and blah blah blah. Again, with the not wanting to spend money, and so they GI said, "Let's do a brigade program." So for $25, it's a lifetime membership, and you immediately get sent the brigade patch,
right?
And then you get a custom hat, and you get a tech shirt, and a lanyard with a profile picture card on it. And $25, you immediately get that back. And then every game that you go to that is sponsored by the brigade, and you will get another patch. So there's all these patch games. I think we did over 42 games last year. I think it might be 52 actually, but this year obviously it's been slowed down. But we have patches for many, many events. If your field uses GI Sports paint and product, it's that much easier to have a large game and make that a brigade event. So
Right.
if you want to do a brigade event, if you want to get a patch made for your event, reach out to Ryan Sexton. He is a marketing director for GI, and he handles the brigade program. Or reach out to your local brigade commanders. So what they did was when they started the program at the core conference, they said, who in your region can help us with this brigade program? So a few people threw my name out there, and Ryan didn't even know me. And he says, who's this Phil guy? 4 different people said Phil Ramirez.
Right.
So, because these guys know I'm just loud and crazy. So they called, and I like trying to help grow the sport. So anyway, they called on me, and we've done real well with it here in my region, which is the South. We are well over a couple thousand members now, and we have giveaways every quarter. So every game that you're at, you check in, you get the event patch, and that puts one drawing in for our prize packages. And they range from small packages of shirts and goggles all the way up to full-blown, all expenses paid for to an event with a full gear bag full of gear. So it's a huge, it could be that right there could be a $5,000 prize depending on where you're going.
Right.
I mean, you can go to Hawaiian Legends, so.
How come every time I bring on someone to talk about the brigade program, everybody fails to mention the barbecues? What the hell is that?
So because it's almost a given. I forget. We actually do that. I for our events, like the Grinch in the Hood, I had Rudy's Barbecue cater 3 briskets and all the trimmings, and of course my guys pitch in. But for every event, we'll do a pizza party. I like to do barbecue. A lot of people know I like to cook, so I will cook. I have Rudy's Barbecue cook. We've done, you name it, we've done it. And even for the dinner on Saturdays, we will cook up a huge meal. I like to cook from my restaurant days. And so it's for me, it's easy to feed a couple hundred people. That is easy. I did that every day, 1,000 people a day. So 200, that's easy. But we give out water, we give out drinks, we give out food. Patches. I always make extra stuff. I bring stickers, patches, hats, T-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And that's a giveaway that I'm doing out of my pocket. So I'm not even asking anybody to put.
I know you are. Again, everybody's learning so much about you on the show. But yes, you guys have to understand. There's a lot of people in it for the free ride. And then there's a lot of people who just love it so much that here, bam, bam, bam. Dude, listen, you gave me a big ass, a bunch of stickers to take to Europe with me and stuff like that. You didn't ask for money. You just said, here, this is for you. And that cost you money. Yeah. I understand that. So you won my heart over. So, all right, let me ask you, who is this?
That's Bianca, not me, Raleigh, and Seabass and Jade. That's our Hawaiian Brigade princess on the lower right.
Nice. And this?
That's us after Legends last year. You got Frosty on the left. You got Rob Firefly. You got D3. You got Big Kemp in the back. Seabass, myself, Michael Fisher, and Ryan Sexton.
Nice.
That was an epic team that we had last year. It was so great to be on comms with all these guys and run that event so smooth. And it was funny hearing from the other side because they were not as organized as we were. And our guys were like, man, I've never been to an event. I've never commanded with such a smooth group. And
wow.
Guys that have done it with us before, they knew. So again, not to pat our own back, but we have a proven formula. Gabriel from Clown Posse, he was one of my field commanders. He was amazing. We would just yell out for each other. And me and Ryan Sexton worked together with the Legions. And it was just an amazing event. It worked really good.
Nice.
And again, it doesn't matter where we're at. Even if we're not in the command role, we're still going to offer our services. Let us help you. Let us help you win.
Nice. So it looks like NJ and Brandon are having a little lever spat here in the chat. They're going back and forth. And ain't nothing like a Texas barbecue, says Wolf.
Yep.
There we go. That, and then who is Doran Del Zagara?
He's one of our newest Cobra members.
Very cool. Nice. Richard Carter, do you know him?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's a cool cat. All right, cool. So let's do this here. I'm going to do this. Let me just jump over here. We're going to talk about a little bit more about paintball, and then we're going to jump into one more subject, okay?
Sure.
All right. You going anywhere?
That's riding my office chair.
All right. Okay, so hold on one second. Let me just do this, and let me do, who is this?
That's D3 on the left, Dewan Mitchell, myself, and Seabass.
Yeah, D3. We started hooking up as helping them promote, having him come on the show and everything like that. He is such a cool cat. He is just so enamored by paintball and wants to make everything he can just to make it grow. He's such a great guy. All right, cool. Seabass, I'm not so sure about, but the real MVP, I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? Let me say something about that, because people always are like, how do you call yourself the real MVP? Well, it actually came from me. I started calling him that because, again, you gotta play with this, and then you'll learn. Wow. Sebastian has, I think, 8 MVPs. All right, that's a lot. That's in the last few years. So that's why hey, this is the real MVP. What's great about our team, and every other team should try to work like this as well, we can split our team up and still be very effective. We have a group of leaders, and so Sebastian can go do his thing by himself, maybe, or myself, I might go do something by myself, but we're gonna still be, so we might have 2 separate teams handling missions at the same time. So that's earned him MVP several times. Now he's gotten MVP at Living Legends. He's got an MVP at Decay of Nations. He's got an MVP at all kinds of fields. That's not, there's guys that go, I got 10 MVPs from my home field. That's not. Sebastian has a crazy wall of accolades. So when we say the real MVP, he earned that. He earned that. He's got so many winning command. He's only lost once.
Wow.
Once. And so when he first started on the team, we kind of groomed him to be our general. And then since then, though, I general. We have Tim that just generaled Triple Threat, and he won. We trained him to do that. And we got NJ now. So we have 4 bona fide generals on our squad.
Dude.
That's how you win.
You are killing it. No, you are killing it. Okay, tell me about this.
So we have Joe's versus Cobra coming up that first week of June. That's at Avid Extreme Sports in Guthrie, Oklahoma, which is just about 15 miles north of Oklahoma City. So if you wanted to fly in, or you're driving in, or you're thinking about it, but it's going to be Cobra going up against Lee Duncan. Lee Duncan is from Bob White. He's one of their team leaders. Great guy. I've known Lee for several years now. Very energetic. They have a huge team. Bob White has a huge following, which is great. We're just coming out of all this containment, so it's June in Oklahoma isn't that bad. Oklahoma is very dry, so there is a nice breeze through there. The park itself has a shower. They have 2 showers actually, and that's nice. I'm always, that's another thing I bust a lot of balls on with these fields. Like, get a shower so people can camp and clean themselves.
Right.
And so they do have 2 showers and lots of porta potties. They'll get indoor plumbing one day. But it's going to be a great event. Like I said, coming out of all this stuff, people aren't quite ready this month, but hopefully in June they're ready to come out and play. Nice. The field is awesome. They've done some great things with that field. Same field that we play Tombstone at. Yeah. It's being put on by this hat that I'm wearing, Action Scenario Productions.
I like it.
It's going to be, I don't know. I think it's a brigade event, and we're gonna do some cool stuff. We just had a meeting about that an hour before I got on your show.
Okay.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. They've got this new prop set up, and that's going to be cool. I've been harping on promoters about this too. The age that we're in, you would think that we could get beyond some slapsticks at some point. How about electronic devices?
Right.
We're still out there using the rope and flag. Like, can we upgrade already? That's one of the things that I do have a pet peeve about, because I'm like, they're like, oh, it costs money. Okay, well, did you not make any at this event? How about we make some electronic devices? We got Bluetooth 4.0. We got NFC. We got, you got IR. In the age of the Raspberry Pi and the what's the other little box? The Arduino. You'd think the Arduino box, you'd think people would be making stuff by now. Well, Ryan Sexton had a nice box made that does like 5 or 6 different things. Like, you got to decipher it, you got to put a code in, you got to push some buttons.
Okay.
Remote detonation. It's going to be cool. All that stuff is going to be in play at the Cobra versus Joe's event, and we're talking about setting up a little kiddie pool and a sprinkler system.
Dude,
so, all the fat guys can cool off.
I like it. Okay, so tell me about the origin of this name here.
So the sign pimp. Well, back when we started, I transitioned from motorcycles to signs because we were doing both at the same time, and I thought that when the economy goes bad, the motorcycle business, that's recreational vehicles. I'm like, that's going to go away. Well, when I was doing that back then, one of my friends said, man, you know what you're good at? You're good at pimping signs. And so I was like, yeah, I guess I am kind of like a sign pimp. And when I started Cobra, I really didn't have a nickname to go by. And usually, you try to you do something on the field and they give you a nickname.
Right, exactly.
A call sign.
Right.
Well, I didn't have one, and awesome was already taken. So they were like, so I was like, well, my other friends call me a sign pimp. So it's just, and that's, different, because you got, there's a lot of call signs that are used over and over, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's no one I've yet to run across anybody else that's called pimp. So it is easy on the field when people want to get my attention. I hear pimp. It's very distinctive.
Nice.
They don't say sign pimp. They just say pimp.
Nice.
And it works. So I've just kept it and run with it. Yeah, there's our entrance.
So 8815 Solon Road, Suite F5, Houston,
Correct.
Texas, 77064, 832-912-4305.
Yeah, you can see I'm in my office. There's one of my embroidery machines right there.
Nice.
Yeah, and then there's one of the workstations back there, and our project board, what we got going on.
Wait, what do we got here?
There we go, Brigade.
So that's one of your embroidered hats, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're we've been kind of in this quarantine thing. We haven't really been essential. We thought we were, but the fire marshal shut down our whole complex.
Wow.
And, he let me know that if I got caught in here, I could get a fine. So, but we're about to open back up tomorrow officially. So, and not only that, we couldn't even get any materials. We were trying to order stuff in, and it was ridiculous. Trying to get stuff here just from Dallas was taking 4, 5, 6 days, which is normally an overnight thing. So I kind of gave up. We actually have a whole bunch of stuff. That's why we were here tonight, actually packaging stuff up that we're going to ship out tomorrow.
So you didn't want to spend any money on models? Is that what you're telling me here?
Yeah. Unfortunately, my daughter used to work for me, and she would put stuff on and model it or whatever. But she actually quit because she got tired of all the guys hitting on her.
Nice.
Guys are terrible, man. She would get so many hits on Facebook, and but at the game when they meet her, they realize she's really cool. My oldest daughter's 23, and she was out there last year with your daughter. She met your daughter, and, my daughter is a beast, man. She was a swimmer and a wrestler in high school.
Dude,
and, she was actually district champ in wrestling, and so I always make jokes with everybody. I'm like, yeah, she handles my light work. Don't mess with me. I'll put her on you. And
Right.
but she out there on the field, she's a natural leader. Yep, there she is. And when you're wearing that big, Cobra on your back, people will run up to her and they see her with the radio and she's, calling it in, and people run up and go, "Hey, what do we do?" And she's gotten good at just going, "All right, this is my mission. This is where I'm going. Let's go."
Nice.
And she'll grab 10, 15, whoever's with her. And that is one of the proudest things for me with paintball, is being able to. I don't have a son. I have two daughters. So for one of my daughters to come out there and play with me, get in it with me, and she's down there in the dirt, and people come running to me afterwards. "Man, I was out there with Momo. She was killing it. Pushing us up, telling us what to do." So,
Dude. All right.
Yeah.
So tell me this is another example of your embroidering, right?
Yes. That's actually a 3D embroidery. You can see it's kind of raised. We
Wow.
do this 3D puff stuff, and that's the shirts we did for Hawaii. Yeah, those guys out there, that was awesome. We met these kids. Yeah, and we can do anything. I mean, if we can load it in the hoop, we can sew it. That's what I always tell people. If we can figure out how to load it, we can sew it. That's our screen print and press. Embroidery shot. Yeah, that's the example of our vehicle wraps. You can see my bucket truck there in the background.
Nice.
So we're a full service. I have my signed electrician's license. Another van I did. Decals. We do lots and lots of decals.
And you seem to have a problem with this guy and his.
That was whack.
Video. I was watching the same time you were.
Oh, really? Yeah. You know what? I saw another video from him today, and I told him this is the last time I ever watching your videos. They're whack.
Yeah, I was like, this is impossible. What, Phil? Watching them? Yeah, same time I am. So that's kind of
hilarious.
All right, my brother. So listen, I think the world pretty much knows everything there is. Well, not. I mean, you're like you said, you're like an onion, man. There's more layers, but we pretty much got the stinky part out of the way. And no, you're just an amazing cat. If you guys don't get that by now, how much people love him and how he is where he is because of his background and how he created this thing. It's not like you said, "I'm going to be a celebrity," and look at me.
Hey, let me tell you a funny story. Something that goes way back, and this is part of again something that molded me. So the high school that I went to, it was a special program, and they combined it with a regular high school. So we had like an upstairs and a downstairs, and the regular high school was in a economically challenged part of our city, and it was about 98% black. And at first I was like, man, this is going to be crazy. And because I'm like, wow. But I went there, and it was probably 25 or 30 friends from middle school that were there, black friends. And because I went to this Catholic elementary school, they did not teach us prejudice. So I didn't really look at them as, oh, those guys are black. I hung around and talked to everybody. So senior year, I graduated, like I said, top of the class. And I was the prom king. So 98% black high school, I walk away as a prom king. So that gives you an idea of how I'm very open. I love talking to people, love hanging out with everybody.
You are.
So if you see me at a field, walk up. If you want to test one of my guns, we always have lots of markers out there. I'm more than willing to let somebody borrow my marker and go try it out if you've been wanting to test it, or any of my guys for that matter. We are the official GI Sports factory scenario paintball team. We like pushing that, and so you break it, big deal. We'll send it in and get it fixed.
Right.
So it's always a pleasure. I love letting people borrow our gear.
You're a great networker, and you're just a big guy with a huge heart. You're just like amazing, and that's the cool thing. Wait, who is this? She's waxing poetically about you. This is true. Sign Pimp is the man. You're the man. There you go. All right. So no, but you guys listen, the reason that we're doing these shows, again, is the community, but also I'm doing like business profile, player profile, all that type of stuff. And I want you guys to know their background a little bit, where they come from. So when you go see them on the field, you're going to have a bit of a more connection with them, because when we go play, we're like squirrels sometimes. We're like, where are we going? Let's like this. And then even when you're sitting around maybe the tiki bar or something like that, you really don't get a chance to really get to know this person. So I'm hoping tonight you guys really got a chance to learn about Phil Ramirez, the sign pimp, and just how smart he is. And no, he's just a really cool cat. And it's a pleasure to know you. And I'm glad that we became friends and not enemies.
Yeah.
It was this close. It was this close to becoming enemies. No,
yeah, it was close. It was right. You know what it was too? When you walked up to me, that was a tough game. It was like 105 degrees out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And people were falling out like, dead flies. And so that was the end of the game. And we were just kind of like trying to figure out what the heck we were going to do. And then you walked up and I'm just like, man, get out of here. I'm hot.
I'm Reaper. I'm Reaper. Yeah, look at me. I'm Reaper. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because they were giving out popsicles. That was the coolest thing ever. I was so impressed with how they came around with popsicles for everybody. That was a great event. I'm going to make it back to Decay one of these days.
Dave Nations, right. Exactly. Okay, my brother, listen, do we miss anything? Is there anything you want to promote? Is there any other, what do you got?
My takeaway for today would be just to promote the games that we're going to be at. We have a lot of paintball left this year. If you're a lot of people don't get out in the summertime down here in the South, but I hope people will get out. We got to get out and get everybody jump started again, whether it's just a little MagFed meetup or a little skirmish or a practice or whatever. Get out there and show the field you're trying to support them and get a little exercise at the same time, and try to come to one of our events. We have me personally, we have the Cobra versus Joe's coming up in June. And if you can't make to that event, come to Tombstone in October. Tombstone is going to be a fantastic event. We have a Facebook page. Viper Paintball has a official Tombstone page, and you can get all the details there. And other than that, real close to here, let me just, while I'm on here, Viper's doing a Red Dawn game. They're trying to decide what day it's going to be, this end of May. And Black Hawk Down is scheduled for May 30th, I think, 30th, 31st. And that's an official paintball in Forney with Vanessa and Ty, and they put on a great event. It's a big game. It's not a scenario. It's a big game is how they really, it's the hour sessions and whatnot. Anyway, there's a lot going on in our region. So come on out and have a good time.
All right, cool. And then let's do one more shout out for the Brigade program.
One more shout out. Brigade you can find the Brigade program at www.brigadeprogram.com, or you can find it on Facebook as well. And like I said, if you play at a GI field or if it's a GI event, definitely look into making it a Brigade event. And so we want to have, we want everybody to do a Brigade event. We love giving out patches.
Yeah.
I guess one very last thing, and this is down here for the South, Glory Paintball down in League City. It's just outside of Houston. We're going to be doing a practice there on May 17th. If you don't have anything else to do, come on out and you can actually practice with us, and we'll teach you. We're going to do some tactics. We're going to teach some people some tactics and some building clearing. We're going to actually have the founder of the team, the Army Ranger, will be there, and we have a Marine infantry specialist that actually owns that field. He's going to be giving us some actual tactical training. So come on out if you want to have a little fun. We're going to take the training that we get and we're going to apply it to his building clearings.
I have to give you props for living in Texas. I was there twice. One was for PAX, so it was all indoors. But then one was I actually played in September 2016 at Tanks Paintball in Richmond.
Right.
It was 100 degrees, 100% humidity. Yeah. And people were drinking pickle juice, and people were passing out. And I said, how do you live like this? And then I said, in LA, we pay for it. It's called a sauna. I mean, what the heck? How do you live like? I don't get it. So
yeah,
you know what? You Texans are pretty tough people. So
you know what? That actually plays very well for us, because when we go up north or anywhere for that matter, we're ready. The humidity really gets you trained, man. When we go to, it's funny because when we were in Decay, yeah, people were like, "Oh man, be careful." We actually felt that it was cooler in the shade. You don't get that here in Houston.
Oh,
The
really?
shade is still as hot because of the humidity. When
Wow.
we go up north, they're like, "Hey, everybody, hydrate. It's going to get into the 80s. It's going to be really hot." And we're laughing because we're like, "What? That's nothing." And it really pushes us. I mean, we're able to keep going when other people are falling out.
Exactly. That's right. No, it's true. It's cool. Okay, my brother, listen, you killed it. I mean, I knew you were going to kill it. In fact, I could have probably just moved the microphone out of the way and just like let you go for it, like take you off the leash and like this. But anyway,
thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Don't run off. Hang on a second. Hang out in a second in the green room. We're gonna play our outgoing here. And you guys listen again. Thank you very much for tuning in, watching us. We're trying to do as many as we can to keep you guys occupied, so you don't think about Mr. C. And again, we've got some amazing shows coming up on Saturday. We've got our kids show, kids only show. We've got just amazing stuff coming up. So if you guys again have an idea for a show, if you want to come on the show. This platform is for you. This is for the community. This is for the players. This is for whatever you can see that for the conversation that Phil and I had, we speak from our hearts. We're not filtered. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And if you got a topic or something you want to talk about, let's do it. Let's just grow this community of ours and let's just have a great time. And so yeah, let's not be divisive. Let's be connected. All right, you guys. So be safe, and I'll shoot you soon. Phil, don't run away. I'll talk to you in a second.